Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to take you through my brand new book budget tracker. This is for my book people who really like to keep on top of just how much they're spending on books every month, because I know I'm just as bad for buying books on the regular. So this is a pretty simple one, shouldn't take us too long, but let's get cracking. So first up, you have your dashboard. Now you don't need to enter any data for this at all. This will automate from all the other sheets, but it gives you a good overall breakdown. So here you have your monthly stats, so whatever you set your budget to will appear there, however much you actually spend, the difference, how much of your budget was used, and how many books that actually resulted in. Next up is the amount of new books that you have purchased that are currently unread, and this is the average cost per book you've purchased. And then you can also track a no buy or a low buy. So at the moment, the data I've got in here has got it set to a 9-day streak of a low buy, not a no buy, a low buy, with the limit being only spending $100, and so far I've spent $50. Okay, and down here, this is all that sort of data just visualized for you as well. So your spending per month, this one is actually the sources of where your books have come from. So if they've been gifted, if they're you've borrowed them from the library, or you actually bought them yourself. And then over here we can track how many books you have that are read or unread from the book that you have recently purchased. So just keep that in mind. Let's go look at the actual budget planner. Now, as you can see here, there's columns that are grayed out. This is a visual indication for you of the columns that you should not touch. So the only column that you'll be filling out is this budget one here. So I want you to go ahead and put in a budget for every month of how much money you want to spend each month on books. And then this will calculate exactly how much you've spent from the purchase log, and then calculate the difference. And you'll be able to see a total at the end of the year as well. Now, the purchase log. This is where you will put all the books that you've bought in here. So you will do the date you've bought them on, how much you paid, if you did pay for them. So if it's like a library loan, you won't put a price, or a gift, you won't put a price, that sort of thing. The name and the author, the format you got it in, the sources. So we've got quite a few options for you in here. And then this is just a fun little thing to track, so the reason why you bought it. And then of course over here, whether you've read it or not. Now, this is another sheet that you're going to have to fill in manually. However, I've made it a little bit easier. So, purchase log is all the books that are brand new, that you've just bought. Your bookshelf is where you can put all the books you own, and it will actually calculate for you the total value of all the books you have. So, what you can do to make this a bit easier is when you add a new book, you just go ahead and copy all the way over to format. So purchase date, price, title, author, format. You can go ahead and copy that and paste it directly in here because it's got the same column order. So I thought that would make it a bit easier for you. And then you can choose your status here. And if you have any notes on the books, you can pop them in here as well. But yeah, this sheet is all the books that you own. These are all the books that you've purchased this year. I hope that makes sense. And next is the low buy, no buy. So when you are doing a low buy or a no buy, you go in here, choose a start date and end date, what your goal is, the dollar limit of that goal, how much you actually spend, which again will be calculated for you, success, whether it's a success or not, and money saved. And then finally, there is the wish list. So this is a way for you to keep an eye on the prices of products that you want to buy. So the title and the author. So if you are looking for, say, a special edition, and currently it's available on Fairy Loot for £40, so say about $80. So you've got the current price that you know of is $80, but you want to try and get it for about $70 or $60. So you put the desired price here, how much you want it, the format you want it in, and whether you own it. Now, I recommend using the notes section to keep a track of the last time you looked and where you looked for it, which is a bit more complex than just a simple tick or box. So I thought it would be best to leave that in the notes for you. But yeah, that is the book budget tracker. It's not too complicated, but it is a really good way to keep on top of just how much money you're spending on books every month. Thank you so much for coming through another walkthrough with me. If you'd like to see my other videos, they're all here on the channel, including my book tracking spreadsheets. I have an audiobook specific one and then a general one. So please go check those out. If you'd like to grab this tracker, it will be available on my store linked below. If you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, it would mean a lot. But I've talked your ear off long enough. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.